This content was created purely for entertainment and informational purposes. The creators of this vlog do not endorse drinking and driving, debauchery, underage drinking, public intoxication, speeding, street racing or any other form of delinquency. I'm just a guy, with a drink, talking about cars. Please don't take this too seriously.
Welcome back to Cocktails and Crankshafts. As always, I am your host, the Car Guy Blog of carguyblog05 at gmail.com fame. Also catch me on Twitter at 05car. That's the word Z-E-R-O, the number 5, and the word C-A-R on Twitter. With me, as always, is my faithful co-host, May Flowers. What up, May?
Hey, friend. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going.
Listen, as if 2020 has not given us enough to deal with.
Man, 2020.
Absolutely 2020. But on top of all the other nonsense, my favorite headset that I'm currently using right now, I've discovered has been discontinued because people out here want wireless headsets. And everybody wants a wireless headset because they want to be cute and fly and wireless. But I like my wireless headphones. Why? Because I have very small ears. And you know what doesn't work with very small ears? Wireless headsets. So now I gotta scour the internets and find what's left of these headphones and buy them all up.
Hoard them.
And now I gotta start hoarding. Like, you know, about to be an intervention with the family. Why do you got 87 pairs of headphones in the linen closet? Because I had to get them before they got gone. Because the wireless joints don't fit in my ear.
Yeah, I used to be that way about certain things. I once, there was a Kmart that was going out of business, and I went in their Kmart and I bought every oil filter they had that would fit on my car because they were down to like 75 cents a piece.
See? Yeah. Out here looking crazy. I mean, well, we got to do what we got to do. I mean,
yep.
Look, this is all I have left, 2020. This is all I have left. They are comfortable and they fit in my ear.
As of this recording, now this actual video won't drop until probably sometime in 2021. But as of this recording, on September 20th of 2020, we are still deep in the Rona.
Deep.
And Lord Jesus, let me tell you, I was watching church with my mom on Facebook this morning when the audio fritzed out. And she didn't know how to deal with it. I'm like, no, Ma, it's Facebook Live. This stuff happens. Just don't worry about it. It happens. And eventually they just posted a message that said, nope, you're not getting this one back. The audio was screwed. We're not even going to repost it later. We'll catch you next week.
Oh, damn. Early dismissal from virtual church. I dig it.
Basically. But no, today we're going to talk about September 13th of 2020, I made my return to the furious asphalt of the autocross scene with the Tarheel Sports Car Club at the Danville Regional Airport, or one of the retired runways at the Danville Regional Airport in Danville, Virginia. And it was quite a Sunday, let me tell you.
Hey, do you remember? I went back to the track in September. Okay.
Man, first of all, okay, let's talk about this. So I drove up Saturday night, stay in a hotel, right? You know,
chilling.
Get there so I can be chill and get up in the morning and leisurely make my way out to the airport and not have to be, leaving home at crack of ass in the morning to get there for the 8 o'clock, meeting or whatever.
Yes, because nobody wants to do all that.
So we're in the Rona hotel.
Yeah, I haven't been in a hotel.
Protocols, so it's a little different, but everything was cool. I got in my hotel and I doused my room with Lysol, literally. I brought my own pillow from home because I don't trust nobody that much.
True that.
And I got ready to go grab some dinner, and I was going to go blast from the past from college years, Mayflower Family Seafood Restaurant.
Ooh. Oh Lord.
There
That is a
happens to be
throwback.
one in Danville. You know, Mayflower has multiple locations, but they're sort of scattered out. They're not like, you know, they got 6 in one city and none any, you know, there's one in Greensboro and one in Raleigh and one in Danville and one in Sumter, South Carolina or some bullshit. Whatever. I go to this Mayflower. I got my mind all fixed on a damn fried catfish platter. I get up the top of the damn hill and they're closed.
Like permanently?
No. And that was the thing. It was clear that they had been open very recently because I wasn't the only person that drove up there expecting them to be open to find out that they weren't open. So they had put a sign in their carryout window that said something to the effect of, you know, closed temporarily, check our order line to see when we reopen. So I called the number, and sure enough, they said, you know, we're closed temporarily. Check back here to let you know when we're going to reopen. I was like, oh, fuck. So I ended up getting dinner from, like, you know, Red Lobster via Uber Eats, which, let me tell you, that's a disappointing. And that's sad when the fried fish joint has better food than the local Red Lobster chain, but whatever.
Yeah. Ugh.
Plus, you send an order on Uber Eats to a hotel without any utensils.
Of course.
You sent me a Caesar salad with no salad dressing. You know what a Caesar salad without salad dressing is?
It's not Caesar salad.
Lettuce.
It's lettuce, and it's boring as fuck.
Fucking romaine lettuce.
Nobody wants to eat that shit. No. And then he wasted, you know, $8 good on a salad. It's not even worth anything.
Right. But anyway, I ate and took my ass to bed and got up Sunday and made my way to the facility. And I'd been to Danville. Like the last time I'd driven an autocross in Danville was like 2001. So I kind of remembered sort of that there were things near the airport. So first thing was I went to make sure I could find the airport or the back entrance, because it's a retired runway. So you have to use this back gate that goes up a hill, and it's basically like a 1-lane road, and it goes through a fence. And anyway, made sure I could find the entrance properly. And then I went up the street to get gas and to put air in my tires, because for autocross, you got to inflate your tire pressures a little higher than you would drive on the street. So I go to do that and loop back around and get to the site. And it's crowded, but not real crowded, because they had a hard cap on attendance due to Corona.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to find a good place to park and set up my stuff. And the Z is really small, so I couldn't take my pop-up tent. I couldn't take my folding chairs. Basically, I took a waterproof Rubbermaid bin in case it was raining, and, you know, my torque wrench, my GoPro cameras, and basically the shit I had for the hotel. So pillow, cooler with some water in it, and not much else.
Right.
And it was cool. It was kind of like old times, you know, everything exactly like it used to be. I was the only black guy there. Everybody was looking at me kind of funny.
Some things don't change.
Until they figured out that I knew where I was, and I knew what I was doing. And then they were kind of okay. The difference was it's Rona, so everybody's, you know, socially distancing, and we all got on masks, and the driver's meeting was just sort of a loose gaggle of people not standing too close to one another.
Mm-hmm.
And some things had changed though. In the old days, you know, everything was wired. So the finish line and the start line, the timing beacons, you know, they have a photo eye,
Mm-hmm.
had to have links on wire that ran back to the control van. Or in those days, they actually had a school bus back then. But now it's like a van that they, or a trailer that they tow behind a camper. But in the old days, it was just a converted school bus. And so you'd have these wires, and they'd always have this thing where the starting line and the finish line had to be sort of close to one another.
So the wire could reach.
Yeah, so the wires didn't have to be strung all across God's creation. But now that it's wireless, they can have the start line and the finish line quite distant from one another, which are also quite distant from the timing van, which is interesting setup. Now, maybe because this was a test and tune and not a points event, They didn't have the radio broadcast. In the old days, they would tune to 88.8, the lowest spot they could get on an FM dial. And they'd have a local short range transmitter, and you would basically have an MC for the event who would talk through everything, and the cars running through the course, the times, what group was due to be in the grid area, what group was due to be out working the course, all of that kind of stuff.
Is it an app now?
No, there was nothing. We were just there.
Oh.
But I don't know if that's because it was a test and tune, or if they just gave up on the radio thing. I don't know how that worked, but whatever the case was, it was just weird to be there and not have that constant humdrum of the radio and being able to tune to the local autocross channel and hear everything that was going on at the event.
Right. So are the people just making announcements when things need to happen instead versus?
Well, they told us at the driver's meeting, they said, basically, you're going to go in the morning, you're going to do 5 runs, and then you're going to switch, and the other group's going to do 5 runs, and you're going to work the course, and then we're going to lunch, and then we'll do the same thing after lunch.
Okay.
And so they just kind of walked up and down the row and told us, hey, it's time to switch, or hey, it's time to go to lunch, or,
Okay.
Which you can do at a small, because I don't know what their attendance cap was, but in the old days, a big points event might have 150 cars. And since sometimes people share cars, they might have actually had more
than that.
I'm gonna ballpark it at 48.
Okay.
Yeah. So because
there
were a couple folks that weren't there. So that's very small compared to the old days, when an event like this might have 150 people there.
Yeah.
So a relatively small group, but it was fun, a little different. The weather cooperated, thank goodness. It was not super blazing hot. But can you see the screen?
I can.
Okay.
That looks nice and clear.
You're not getting audio though, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so the course itself was not overly difficult, but of course my first run through I miss a gate. And so they send the guy to come get me. And
you were going rogue.
No, because they didn't have ride along instructors, and they didn't have they still had the course walk, but I had walked the course by myself, and I just forgot. I wasn't paying attention. I missed the damn gate. But they were like, "Hey, you want to do a lead follow so you can learn the course?" I'm like, "Okay, I missed the gate, dude." It was just like,
all right,
not
calm
an idiot,
down.
but that's how they do it now. They just offer, "Hey, I'm going to lead you through the course, and then you'll see where everything is."
They don't have a video plan. That's the one thing I do like about some races. When I go to the expo to pick up my packet, they'll do a speed video of the course so you can see what it looks like before you get out there.
No, we can physically walk it, and they allow us to walk it as many times as we want within the allotted time before, first car off. But I walked it once. I took a couple pictures with my camera, but it's too long to walk to actually record a video of you walking through it. It takes too long.
Got it.
But it happens. Autocrossers miss gates and cones all the time. Shit happens.
Yeah, it happens.
Because it was offset, and if you don't remember to look off to your left and say, "Oh, there's a gate over there," you forget. And when he told me I missed it, I was like, "Oh, duh." That's why it seemed like I got to the pivot cone too fast, because I missed. Anywho, I had to swap the camera to the other side of the car because the camera I put on the passenger door apparently was dead. Apparently I didn't recharge it, which is weird because I'm really anal about recharging my cameras. But whatever. I took the camera off the driver's side and stuck it on the passenger side. I always bring spares, so it wasn't a big deal. Just this particular run, I only had the front camera and the passenger side instead of having 3 cameras. And really, I could have wired up 4. The only requirement they had for cameras that were outside of the car is that they were tethered. So I literally just ran a little thin piece of parachute nylon, tied a knot on the base of the camera, tied it inside the door handle inside. The one on the driver's side, I hooked it through the inside of the hatch. So if the suction cup popped loose, the camera wouldn't just go flying, and away I went.
Alrighty.
Couldn't get away with that in road racing, where there's a possibility of contact between the cars, but on the autocross course, it was fine.
Yeah.
So this is about halfway up the passenger side door, and you'll see what a run through the course looks like from that view.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
And then we'll probably do one from the chin spoiler, which is the front middle of my front bumper. And I'll try to give a running commentary. There's a car in front of me. No, maybe me. Okay, I'm going. So it gives me the sunlight. And long right-hand sweeper here. Round. Now there's a gate off to the left. Slalom here. Right, left, right. Hard gate way out to the left, way over here. Back to the right. Now another 180 sweeper.
Oh, this is definitely an interesting view.
And another slalom, left, right, Chicago box, into the Chicago box, out of the Chicago box. Another offset gate, hard left, transition between the surfaces. That was causing people trouble. Back to the left, back to the right, speed through the trap. Slow down before you get to the end curve. Somebody actually got called in for that.
Uh-oh.
Because a lot of the cars were waiting until they got way down there, out of the course, out of the timing lights, to hit their brakes at the last second. So I was actually parked next to this Lotus. You'll see me pull up here. I'm going to run in the bin and grab another camera.
Oh, it says
Am I sharing screen too?
Yes. I can see 4 cars and some people talking.
Yeah, so this is the bumper level view. This is about 3 inches off the ground, as you can see. Here we go.
And this is a better angle than the side back looking at the tires.
I like the side because I can see the cones, and this one it's very difficult to see how close I get to the cone.
Yeah.
Because the field of view doesn't go quite that wide. They just sort of disappear to the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, real talk. My actual hope is that I would come close enough that the camera would skim right over the tip of one of the cones.
Oh.
But I never got that close because I'm not one to get really super close to the cones if I don't have to. Because if you hit a cone, your run's over. I mean, 2-second penalty when the difference between two fast cars might be less than a quarter of a second. You can't have any of those penalties. That'll just kill you. So I try not to hit cones when I can help it. Go. Woohoo!
Go.
Also, this one gives a very false impression of actually how fast I'm going.
Oh, well.
Because you never break 50 miles an hour out here. The really fast cars might get to 50.
Oh, yeah, you can see. You can see the cones. It's different, though.
Woo! Get it. Get it, baby. Yeah. Woo! Fun for the whole family.
Oh, yeah.
And not to run through a course at, oh my God, fast speeds. But let's talk reality. I was slow. Like, now I know part of it was my tires. The tires on that car were shit, and I didn't realize how shit they were until afterwards I got home and took pictures of the tires and realized that those tires have been on that car for 4 years, basically, and they're cracked and
okay.
They weren't good tires anyway, but anytime you can see that your rubber is cracked, that's a bad sign.
That's a problem.
and one run through the course had just shredded them. So I was like, okay, these are not good tires. But I will also admit that I was rusty. Like I said, my first run through the course, I missed a gate. Airport courses tend to be a little bit, it's both very abrasive and also very slippery.
Mm-hmm.
Abrasive because of the nature of the asphalt, slippery because it being an unused runway, it tends to gather a lot of dust and sand.
Mm-hmm.
So if you stayed on the line, you had pretty good grip. If you got outside where everybody else had been driving, you could lose it. And we actually had a car go in the grass. We had a Honda Civic go flying out into the grass, and nothing bad happened. But when I posted on Facebook this morning, I was like, yeah, this course isn't tricky, but it is slippery. We're gonna put somebody in the grass today. Sure enough, it happened.
Yep.
But no injuries, no broken car. Well, actually, I think there was a broken car, but that was a straight up mechanical failure with the car and had nothing to do with the course itself. I did 5 runs in the morning and I guess just 2 in the afternoon. So
it's a good day when no one gets hurt.
Was that?
It's a good day when no one gets hurt.
Yes. And honestly, I took a couple runs off because my plan was to pull out my still camera and take some pictures, and then I changed my mind and decided to just go ahead and pack up. So I got all my stuff packed, and then we had to work our last session, and after I finished working, I could just jump in the car and head home, which I did. Yeah, good event, good time at the Autocross in Danville with Tarheel. They may have another event in October. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to go. Honestly, it depends on whether or not I still own the Z, because I may sell, well, not may. I'm going to sell the Z sometime this fall. My only holdup is a paperwork snafu with the state of, with the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they provide me with a title, then I will sell the Z. But if I have the 240 running by then, I might take the 240 out. Depends on how I feel. I'm definitely not going to take the Camry out there. That's just a waste of time. That is my running review of the Tarheel Sports Car Club Danville Test and Tune COVID Autocross of September 13th of 2020.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!